5 minutes after 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Tuesday morning. It's Tuesday. You hear Ricky Nelson singing his famous song. Maybe it was his favorite. I don't know, Garden Party. And that means that Carol Ann Baldwin is in the area right here at the big granite table at the Source WOCA. And we are ready to take your calls and your comments and your questions regarding your gardens and your lawns and all that stuff. The show is, of course, called You've Got a Garden. Carol Ann Baldwin is your hostess. Good morning, Carol Ann.
Good morning, Larry. How are you this morning?
And you're ready to answer my questions, right?
I'm ready to answer your questions, everybody's questions. Throw them at me.
So mine, I kind of prepared you because I showed you. I
Yeah, we've been dealing with the banana.
Photos
of
my. Now, this banana plant I've had, is it a tree or a plant? What do you call it?
I call it a tree, though it probably is better classified just as a plant because it's an herb.
Yeah. Yeah, I learned that from you too. Okay.
Yeah, we all learned that from one of your trivia questions.
Oh, is that right? Is that right?
Yes.
See, I always forget. Okay, so go back. I don't know. I've been at this place, I think, 7 years now, and that plant has been there 7 years. Every winter it becomes nothing.
Right.
And every spring, I don't cut it, but I just let it grow.
Right.
This spring, I cut it. I mean, I cut it drastically. It was like the part that was damaged, it was like 4 or 5 inches across. Right. Cut it, and it started growing like immediately. Right. Like that day, I think I saw.
Yeah, you started to see the unfurl of that first leaf.
So now, in all these blooming. 7 years, but I don't think I've ever seen a banana on it.
No, well, you probably wouldn't have.
But now it's got that hanging purple big flower.
The big flower that hangs down.
Which, does that ever actually open up to look like a flower?
No, that is the flowers, the real leathery, thick
a
leaves.
Strange flower?
It's unique. It is definitely unique. And under each petal is where those little baby bananas are.
Okay.
That's where they come.
And so on the ground beneath the plant, you see the fallen petals.
The fallen petals.
Which are bigger than the husk of a corn of ear of corn.
Oh yeah, they're
big.
Easy as bigger than your hand even.
Yeah.
But I mean they're large. I would say probably 10 inches at least long and 5 inches wide.
Okay, so I have these little tiny, maybe 1 inch long yellow things.
Right.
And I posted a picture. I said, "Are these bananas? Are these baby bananas?" And you said they are.
Yes. Yeah.
So does that mean that my female plant had a male pollinator from somewhere?
I don't think bananas really need...
Oh, they don't need that?
No. It's just... Bananas have to reach a certain maturity without freezing. And it could also be, because you never have done anything with them, that your drastic cutting finally sent it to go, hey, listen, I want to bloom.
This is the craziest thing. Yeah. You cut the head off and it
decides it's going to bloom. So I'm
going to keep, if I remember.
You're going to keep a photo.
Keep taking pictures.
Yeah, photographic journal of
because
bananas.
Facebook is putting them together so that you can see them in action or something.
We'll have the story of Larry's bananas. Larry the banana. But I thought Larry was a cucumber. Veggie Tales. I'm not sure who's...
Yeah, but he's a Jewish cucumber.
Ah, okay.
So I guess if you're Christian, you're more like a banana. Same shape.
Could be, yeah.
Same shape, just a little bit yellow.
There you go.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
I don't know. That's a little,
That's kind of like
jaundice or something there. A little liver issue. You might want to take care of that. Go see your doctor. None of this is to treat or cure any illness here.
Bananas are good for your heart, right?
Bananas are good for you.
Not these bananas. I've never had these, but the ones at the Cascades tasted horrible.
Right. They were probably like the ones in my yard. They're really pretty. They're really neat. They're very ornamental because they're really not edible.
They don't taste good.
They might. I actually kind of wonder if they're not actually a plantain.
They don't look like a plantain.
Yeah, well, it could be a variety, or it's just ours. Mine are not tasty, also, and so it's just kind of neat to have them growing.
It is. Yeah. I'm very excited about it. Are you kidding? I'd love it.
Banana plants are neat.
That's why I'm taking pictures
They are
of it.
something that says, you'll see, like we've talked about before, where they'll put palms in great big containers and put them in rooftop gardens in New York City, or put them in front entrances in places where they don't naturally grow.
Right.
But the banana plant is one usually you probably even see that one, but again, that's one that says, you're definitely in Florida.
Yeah, yeah,
or,
that is cool.
or Hawaii or so. You have to definitely be,
And while I see many banana plants, I don't see many bananas.
No,
it's kind of like
it is moreover for the tropical look.
It's kind of like the coconuts in South Florida. I love seeing the coconuts.
Right.
Sure, I like the iguanas. I like the coconuts. All right, you have a phone call.
All right.
Thank you for calling. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Good morning, guys. I
Morning.
just want to comment on the banana thing. And
Sure.
yes, those are the baby bananas indeed. Once after they, after a while, they keep going down and leaving. Then they just stop. The flowers start to drop. They just no longer stay on the stem, on the trunk. So they won't become bananas. But the thing is that cone, that purple or cone,
right?
You can cut it. You cut it off, and then you can slice it, soak it in salt water, and stir fry it and eat it. And it's really good.
Huh?
Really?
And I learned that I learned that in an Asian market in Gainesville. They sell the actual cone, the actual flowers, and I have no idea. They told me about it, and I tried it, and lo and behold, they're delicious. And
Interesting.
They can slice them real thin.
What's it called? Do they have a name for it?
Like sauerkraut, I guess.
Sauerkraut.
Yeah, I mean, real thin. You slice them thin. You soak them in salt water, and then drain them, and then throw them in a hot pan with some oil and stir fry them.
And it tasted like
They turn
sauerkraut?
out pretty good.
No, I think he was saying slice
Yeah,
it thin like sauerkraut.
Oh, okay. But what does it taste like?
What does it taste like? It's something very unique. It's nothing. It's very neutral in flavor. I mean, it's not like it has a very strong. Wow, this is so banana. It doesn't taste nothing like banana.
Okay. Kind of like a watercress or something where it's just neutral in a flavor.
But if you cut it, does it sabotage the bananas that might have come out, or no?
No, 'cause he was saying the bananas, it'll stop forming
after the
bananas.
are done.
Oh, after they're done. Okay.
Right, because there's many more flowers than it'll make
keep going
bananas.
down and down, and the little flowers stay on the stem, and then they will become bananas. But after a while, that process stops, and it just keeps growing, but the little flowers no longer stay on the trunk. They just fall.
So you're
leaving only behind the ones that will become bananas.
okay. So
And at that
you're
point,
yeah. Go
at
ahead.
that point, you can go ahead and cut it.
Okay, but you're cutting, and then the rest of that stem, that long 1.5 inch thick, that's the part you're stir frying?
No, the cone, the actual cone.
The flower
The
itself.
purple stuff.
The flower itself.
Oh,
the
okay.
purple
I may have to
cone.
look that up online.
Yeah, not the stem that holds the
Okay,
bananas. No,
but
not that.
further down. Okay.
All right, I'll look it up.
I
I'll
was
see if
just
we can find
wait.
something.
You got my interest peaked there. So you double use. You get your bananas and you eat the other part too before while the bananas are growing.
Exactly.
So
Yep.
Cool.
You can get them both. Yeah.
all right, sounds
Give it a
good. Thanks. All right,
Banana
You bet,
blossom.
all right, bye-bye.
I found the banana blossom salad recipe.
there you go. So
I'll read it to you in a second. Let's take another
okay.
phone call. Good
Sure.
morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
morning.
See, on the subject of bananas, I love bananas. My favorite dessert is banana cream pie, and I'll eat a banana, maybe 2 or 3 bananas once every other week. Always near the bananas are what they call plankton that look like bananas. Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah, the plantains. Yeah, plantain. Yeah.
Plantain. I've always wanted to try one. Is that like a banana? Can you eat it like a banana,
No.
or do you have to cook it?
You have to cook it. You have to
Okay.
cook. It's very starchy.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. I've never personally cooked one. I've had it prepared. They make plantain chips where it's sliced very thinly and fried up like a potato chip. I've had it done up as a I don't know what you would call it. I called it, or I think I was told it was called kind of like a relish. It was cooked and it was crumbled, but it was cooked with some garlic and stuff, and ate it with the broth of a soup. Was real good like that. Like I said, I've never personally prepared plantain, but I have had it. It's
I was wondering now, I make homemade potato chips a lot with naturally regular Idaho potatoes.
Right.
I'm just wondering if this might not be a more healthier choice.
Possibly, but if you're still frying them, I think some of that defeats part of the health portion of it. But yeah, I mean, I would think it probably would be a little bit different. I'm not sure what the nutritional difference is, because you figure a potato itself is high in potassium, actually low in calories, but I don't know if it really offers a whole lot of true nutrition. And the plantain, I'm not sure what the breakdown is on that. So it's possible that, yes, it would, would offer something, especially as a little bit of a snack food, or at least something different. Something,
Yeah, I usually do my deep frying with either coconut or peanut oil, so I'm pretty good that way. But
right.
Where is that native to that plant?
The plantain, it's going to be, again, the South America kind of thing, Central America, possibly a little bit in Asia or Hawaii. But I know, I know the way I've had it prepared has generally come from sort of like a South American cuisine.
Yeah,
it
must be pretty popular because you see quite a few of them in the grocery store in the vegetable section.
Yeah,
I mean, like as many as regular bananas. So somebody's eating them and liking them.
That's it. There you go. There you go. Yeah, have to look that up and see. Maybe we come up with something to fix and everybody taste a plantain. Yeah.
I've had it one time.
I'll give it a try and give you a buzz back next week if I still live.
Sounds good.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
I had it at one of the Mexican restaurants.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
and I don't think I really was that fond of it, but then again, I'm real limited with
on your you've got a limited palate.
I very much so. So this is what it's called when you make the dish that was just talked about from the banana flour.
Right.
It's called vashai poo.
Okay.
Vashai poo.
Vashai poo.
VAZHAI space POO.
Okay.
Vashai poo.
Okay.
Hey kids.
Vashai poo.
What's for dinner tonight? We're gonna have some vashai poo. Can we go to McDonald's instead? The banana flower, while striking, is one blossom that you'll put is more at home in the wok than in the vase. Trying to paraphrase here.
Pretty good.
It says you can make it for soup, stir fries, meat and vegetable stews, and salads. Common to Southeast Asia cuisine. It's called the vashai poo.
There you go.
Vashai poo. There you go. You do exactly. It tastes bitter unless it's soaked in something else. One solution to soak it in is lemon juice and water for about a half hour.
And like he said, salt water. A lot of times we use salt water to pull out the bitterness out of eggplant and things like that. So,
but then it gives you this big recipe.
So I guess when he was saying it was sour or bitter, that would be where that reference maybe to sauerkraut.
Yeah.
Came out of. If you didn't, it's yeah.
You need some fish sauce, which is nukmam.
You can buy it in the international section of Publix.
Fish sauce, lime juice, sugar, chicken breast. You put some chicken in there. You can pick that out. Pork chops, I guess you can put that in there. Red pepper flakes, bean sprouts, basil, chopped peanuts, sesame seeds. Wow, lots of stuff in here. And then the fresh banana flour.
Neat.
And lemon juice.
Sounds good.
And you have some, what was it called again?
Something poo.
That's all I remember.
We're horrible. Just vashai poo.
Vashai poo.
Vashai poo. There we go. Boy, we're bad. But
there's nothing in the fridge today. Larry's got that flour out there.
Yeah, don't take the bananas. We're going to let them grow. We're going to make some vashai poo.
So if I cut that thing off, really, the flowers will keep growing, or do I got to wait?
As he was saying, because it will create, how when you look at bananas in the market, they're a hand. That's what they call it, a hand of bananas.
Right,
and you see, as yours are coming on there, there's 5 or 6 or more that are on there. That's one hand. Another hand can also form further down the stalk. It's when they sort of stop producing, and I'm not sure if that's temperature, whatever. It's putting its energy into those. That's all it's going to grow is going to be those bananas. When you watch some programming, say on PBS or the nature channels and such, when you see the big banana plantations and they're cutting them, of course they're pretty well full.
They got the big ones
of bananas, but they're growing a cultivated, food grade. Edible type of banana, and
I have a question.
So what he was saying, our caller was saying, was that once that stops, and you'll probably be able to tell, it'll make a few, and you realize those petals are just dropping, nothing's happening.
I'm going
Cut
to
that flower
document
off.
this with my camera
Yep.
as much as I can.
Document that with
And
you can, and we
yesterday-
may have to eat the blossom.
And yesterday, yeah. Vagina poo. Yesterday, when it was really pouring hard,
Yes.
I was worried about it. I've never worried about my plants before, but I said, "Oh, come on, don't ruin
knock
it."
that one down.
I'm excited about this
and
one.
we did. That was a heavy rain. I'm not sure if everywhere in the county had it, but I know we're on the south.
Yeah, we're in the
east
same
section there. Near South 441, and excuse me. It was coming down like bucket loads, and hopefully nobody had too much damage go on in their yards or anything.
We live close enough to one another that you can probably hear the peacock screaming in my
Yes.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he's a feral peacock. I don't know where he comes from.
I don't either.
I've seen him at the liquor store some morning.
Oh,
and
really?
I've been at the gas station across the street going, the liquor store's not open on Sunday. You can't get in. Go
But now
home.
I heard a bird, I think, yesterday that I've never heard before, and I didn't want to go looking for it. I swear to you, Carol Ann, it was going, ee-yaw, ee-yaw, like a donkey, but a donkey doesn't really, like a cartoon donkey.
Right. Down the street from both of us, probably about a mile, there's I'm not sure who owns it. It used to be a big farm that had cattle and buffalo on it.
But this
it
was-
has now got garden area. This is definitely, it's planted in different edibles and things like that. And I think they had some chickens because there was a chicken over visiting our area where my house is. My husband saw it. A rooster came right up and basically was making friends. Hey, how are you? But that rooster got run over out on the road.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But what would go ee-yaw like that? Ee-yaw. What
It
the-
could still be the
peacock?
The peacock.
Really?
Yes. The
They gotta-
peacock screams like a child's being murdered in the middle of the night.
I know, it is the scariest thing.
Right up there with the coyotes.
If the coyotes are horrible. That is scary. Yeah. All right, let's go to the phone. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm back off maternity leave.
What's that?
I'm back off of maternity leave.
Oh, I saw. Yes, I saw.
I have a question for you to Google.
Okay.
With all this rain that we've been having,
Uh-huh.
I posted this morning a butterfly that was hatching out of its cocoon, a
Right.
swallowtail. Where do the butterflies go when it rains so they don't get pelted like it rains torrentially?
That's a good question.
Where do they know that they're safe?
Where do they go?
Where do the butterflies
Where
go?
do the butterflies go?
like a
That sounds like
children's
I was
book.
going to say that, or a folk song of back in the 60s. Where? Okay.
But the reason why
I'll Google
I
it.
ask is because after it rained the other day torrentially and then
Right.
stopped one of the 4 times that it did it at my house, a swallowtail was out sucking on some penta.
Wow. So he couldn't have been too far, and like you said, you're having them emerge now, so they had to have been resting somewhere up underneath leaves. That's all I can think of, is that they're getting up inside of shrubbery and they fold their wings up and just hide. I mean, you've seen I don't know if it rains at that time of year when all of the swallowtails go down to, is it the swallowtails that go to Mexico?
No, it's monarch.
Monarchs, that's it, yeah, the monarchs, and you figure where do they all go?
I don't
If it
know. But
rains.
that was pretty wild that right after that storm, one came out and fluttered to the penta.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
The ones that were in the cocoons through all this, they were out on my deck. It got pelted, and of course my puppies have chewed on some of the dill fronds.
Right.
But they hung it out, and one hatched this morning.
Huh.
Wow. Do you know what I always wonder? I always wonder where the green flies go before the dog poops. Because as soon as the dog poops, there's green flies on it. What are they waiting? Are they in the trees saying, "There he is"?
There he is. Watch this one. He's going to give us a good one. Deja vu.
They're just hiding somewhere. They always show
All
up.
right, guys, have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sharon.
By the way, I found the answer to her question.
Found the
Butterflies hide when it rains. They usually go to the same places they do for the night. Some butterflies hide under large leaves.
Yeah.
Some crawl down into dense leaves or under rocks, and some just sit head first in the grass stems with their wings held tightly. Wow.
So they just go, they get up under, but it sounds like that they'll actually get up under leaf litter or under stones, under rocks.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if they mean just an outcropping, maybe, if you've got some decorative rock in your yard, that there's a little gap, they'll get up underneath there.
But if they actually goes from place to sleep, they know where that place is.
And that's
gotta
where
be
they
a safe
go.
place.
Right.
They probably don't travel far, I wouldn't think. They're probably
possibly
always
not,
nearby.
Not if you've got, right, because if your yard is landscaped for butterflies, it's going to have everything that butterfly needs. So it's not going to need to leave. It will lay its eggs. It will, they don't rear their young, but they lay their eggs in order to, and because it's a place that's going to have the larval food for the caterpillars.
The lifespan of a butterfly is only 2 weeks, so they don't have much time.
They don't go far, except for the ones that travel all the way to Mexico. The monarchs going to Mexico.
Oh, really? And they stay alive the whole way?
I don't know how this goes
I get
on.
that was a dumb question. Yeah. But I mean, they're not just the ones that
just
leave.
Multiple generations.
Where do they go from and to?
North America all the way to Mexico.
So, but the ones who leave the starting point are the same ones who arrive at the ending point. It's not like they keep having babies and.
I always forget how that works.
Is it the
but
same,
I think they do make it
the same
all
butterfly.
The way to, yeah.
Wow.
It's just that there's a few generations that'll occur while they're there, and then those ones leave and go back.
Huh.
So it's not the one that arrived who leaves and goes back. We're really off.
Bananas and butterflies.
Bananas and butterflies. We're going buggy or something. No, but watch out. Yeah, watch out with those heavy rains we've been getting. This has been one of those times I've been talking to people, and I don't know why people look at me like I have two heads. When I tell them, well, you need to read the directions on the item that you're going to be putting down to fight the fungus in your lawn or whatever, that it may need to be watered in. I said, well, it's raining every day. I said, yeah, but if it has 4 inches of rain, all you might as well have done is just poured that down the storm sewer, because it's not going to stay put. You need to put it down by the directions, by the watering that they require, and with this time of year, hope we don't get any rain, or you need to postpone putting that down, realizing there's not much you can do when we have anywhere from 1 inch to 4 inches of rain at any given rainstorm. I know we have some folks, because where I work, I have there's a lot more snowbirds, or not necessarily snowbirds this time of year. They're new residents to Central Florida, and so they're going, well, I can grow this plant such and such throughout the summer.
Right.
Why can't I grow it here? I said, well, you guys in that part of the country don't get rain events daily that are between 1 inch and 4 inches of rain. And then they look at me and go, oh yeah. It's one of those kind of things that you got to remember where you're at. And it's difficult this time of year in a flower garden, vegetable garden, your lawn, your landscape. When we are getting this much rain, it is hard to treat for disease. It's hard to treat for insects. You don't want to be putting fertilizers down. One, it's a waste of money. Two, then when you're putting it down like this, if it's a nitrogen source, you're just putting down a pollutant because it's going to wash away. And yes, that includes the liquid fertilizers especially, because they're liquid when you put them down, and then when it rains, they're gone completely. Disease control in the lawn, we went through this just a couple weeks ago. Temperature and humidity equaling 150 gives you that perfect time for fungus to begin to grow. And then when you add to it the rains that we're getting, and I think yesterday, what was it? It was pouring when I left. I had my grandson at karate, and it was about 6:15, I think I was leaving there, and it was pouring all the way till I got home, and then some. And so it's getting dark at that time. That grass never got a chance to dry before the sun went down. The leaf plant material on shrubberies, flowers, other landscape plants, ornamentals, vegetables didn't get a chance to dry until now here this morning. Everything's dry and nice, bright, sunny morning, but now we have to figure that, again, at 3, 4, 5 o'clock this afternoon, it's going to hit us again.
Probably, yeah.
So if you've got any pest issues, it's best to try to do them in the morning. Again, trying to treat for fungus in the lawn and landscape, it's tough unless you can get it on there and it's a product that's waterproof within an hour.
We have to take a little break.
All right.
By the way, right now, the temperature plus the humidity is 174. What does that tell you? Anything?
You've got fungal conditions that are ripe.
All right. We'll take a little break and be right back with Carol Ann Baldwin. If you have a question for Carol Ann, the number to call is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-9622. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. In Miami early today, ambulances responding to a shooting in the Liberty City area. 2 people were killed, several wounded. Police say it happened outside an apartment complex. No arrests have been made and no word of a possible motive. Secretary of State John Kerry, who's pushing for Iraq to form a more broad-based government, meeting with the Kurdish president.
John Kerry met with Masoud Barzani, president of the Kurdistan Regional Government, 10 days after Kurdish Peshmerga forces, responding to the capture of major Iraqi cities by Sunni insurgents, themselves seized control of Kirkuk, the strategically important oil hub that the Kurds have long regarded as their historic capital.
Fox's James Rosen. 7 states are holding primaries today. Colorado and Maryland will pick candidates for governor. Republicans in Oklahoma will choose a nominee who will be favored to replace retiring Senator Tom Coburn. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
On March 3rd last year, Henry W. faced his own death with incredible courage. He wasn't in an accident. He wasn't ill. He wasn't in any danger. But he faced this reality head on. If he died, his wife and children wouldn't be able to pay the mortgage, make the car payments, or keep up the life they'd had. His family would lose everything. So he picked up the phone and called AIG Direct. He found out that through AIG Direct, he could get a $250,000 life insurance policy for less than $14 a month. Now, he knows that he's helped make his family's future secure, no matter what happens to him.
Protecting your family with coverage through AIG Direct is fast, easy, and incredibly affordable. Call AIG Direct right now for a free no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you can save up to 70%. Call now.
1-800-322-9891. That's 1-800-322-9891. 1-800-322-9891.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Veterans are the foundation upon which our freedom is built. Listen to The Source, WOCA, each Thursday at 9 a.m. to Veterans News with Hank Whittier from Vets Helping Vets. You'll hear tributes, information on veterans issues, and stories that will make you laugh, cry, and feel proud. Veterans News always focuses on the military, past and present, and on our first responders. Veterans News is brought to you each week by Palm Chevrolet, where supporting the community is the Palm Chevy way, and by Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery, keeping you blooming since 1952.
This is a public notice. Local residents can now save thousands of dollars on their next car, truck, or SUV. It's not a tent sale, because no tent is big enough to hold this many cars. It's OcalaForSale.com. Say goodbye to sticker shock. OcalaForSale.com has thousands of vehicles with no stickers at all. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, loss-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
How good does it get? Golf has long been considered to be sport's most prestigious game, and WOCA has your connection to everything in the golf world. Every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m., tune in for Let's Talk Golf with your host, PGA professional and teacher to the stars, Jim Beckett, and operations manager for the Links of Spruce Creek South, Darren Irwin, right here on The Source.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Your official news source, WOCA.
Wow, that was short.
Yeah.
25 minutes before 10 o'clock. Nice looking day, huh? Carol Ann Baldwin is here. If you have a question, call 622-WOCA. This is You've Got a Garden. Carol Ann.
And I'm here.
Oh, can I tell you what I learned the other day?
What'd you learn the other day?
That water doesn't stay where you put it. We went to this mud volleyball tournament.
Okay.
That Habitat for Humanity was doing, so they had this large area at the Florida Horse Park where horses normally are.
Right.
So it's all dirt.
Right.
And they brought a fire truck out there, and they was spraying it and spraying it and spraying it and spraying it and spraying it, and the area they sprayed really never formed a puddle. It all trickled down to another area, so they had to move the net.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it because the ground just wasn't?
I guess it did. I mean,
I don't know. Florida doesn't make good mud, and I think that's because it's so sandy.
That's got to be the answer. But it was muddy where it was muddy.
Where it was muddy?
It was muddy where it was muddy. But it wasn't muddy where they were spraying
where they were originally planning on having it. That is, it must be the way the land.
Because I would think, I mean, you can't tell looking at it, but one area obviously is lower than the other.
A little bit lower, right.
Yeah.
And just enough that,
Because
we're going to play here and the water's going there.
So here's what I would have thought. I would have thought that you put water on the ground and it goes down.
Right.
Simple, not over.
Well, but it's our ground right now is saturated with how much water it has, so it's going to go to the lowest point before it will soak in. If you've ever poured water during a dry time, take a watering can on a nice sandy, a place that doesn't have any vegetation or very limited vegetation, pour water on it and it'll sit there. It'll sit on top.
Really?
Yeah. You actually have to put it on very slowly. That's why if you have containerized plants that get real dry, because I forgot to water this one for a couple of days, that it's actually, you can pour water all day long and it runs out. It'll just run, it's not actually watering it. You almost have to sit it into a container till it stops bubbling, and that way the water has replaced the air in that potting medium. Then you can take it out, it'll drain, and you actually got it wet, and then you can water as properly after that. But that's what happens. The water will actually just sit on top, or in the instance of a containerized plant, just run down inside the sides of it and run out the bottom.
Wow, it's amazing how it all works. Something else I was reading I want to share with you.
Okay.
When the lakes dry up, and then the rains come and they fill back up.
Right.
All of the fish that used to be in that lake are dead. They're gone. And now there's new water in that lake, but yet fish are back.
There's eggs that can survive in the mud.
Well, let me tell you what I read. What I read was this. Frogs instinctively know to lay their eggs where there are no fish, because the fish will eat the frog eggs and there'll be no more frogs.
Right.
So the frogs somehow know where to go where there's no, like a puddle.
Right.
Or something, so they can lay their eggs. And now there are, what do you call it, tadpoles.
Right.
So there's lots of tadpoles in a freshly filled lake.
Right.
Okay. The birds will come and eat the tadpoles. And somehow the eggs of the fish from the last place the bird was at are on their feet or in their feathers.
Ah.
And then suddenly the pond is filled with fish again.
It's got fish again. So it might have been moved from a deeper area.
It's a genius.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing how that all works. I mean, who would have thought?
It's a whole cycle.
It's all cycle.
Yep. I picked up a little thing. If anybody is interested, we got a few folks that listen to the show, I'm sure, that like to get a little fitness occasionally in here. This is a 4-H event in which they're, where is it? It's looking to promote, it's a walk. It's a fun run walk kind of thing. It'll be at Tuscaloosa Park in August. It'll be August the 9th. It's an untimed race to promote healthy living and support the Marion County 4-H Youth Development Program. Yoga stretches, not youth stretches, but we can stretch the youth too by yoga, I guess. But
I stretched my youth as far as I could.
Yeah, I'm still trying to stretch it just a little bit further. Yeah, I'm not giving up. It will be Saturday, August 9th. There is pre-registration through the 26th of July. It is $25 for pre-registration, $35 for day of registration, and you can call over, and this is probably actually over to Extension, but through the 4-H, 671-8413. And they're saying to wear light clothes to be colored and protective eyewear. So they're probably doing something with paintballs.
Yeah.
Or painted water balloons or squirty paints or something like that. Something fun. But it's a color Marion County 4-H color fun run / walk Saturday, August the 19th, or August the 9th. My bad, at Tuscaloosa Park. If anybody who's interested, a little bit of fitness, a little bit of benefit to our youth. 4-H program is fabulous for our kids in the community. There are good kids. We read the papers daily, and we see about troubled kids and bad kids all the time. And it's the good ones who are sitting behind the scenes, learning about, they are our future farmers. They're our future
in
leaders.
The majority,
they are,
right?
Yeah.
The good kids are
the good
way
kids
in the
really are in the majority. And the 4-H is a program that school-age kids can go through, and they grow so much and become great young people and young adults. So they, key to our future.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
yeah.
Anybody interested in assisting with that, call over there to Extension 671-8413. That's going to be the 4-H office.
Are they the ones that raise the livestock?
Yeah, they do. The youth fair and things like that. But they also do forestry judging. They do the 4-H Congress. I mean, they get into debate. It is more than just animals. 4-H is not just raising cows and chickens and rabbits. It is home crafts. Nowadays, it gets into the technological fields with web page design and things like that, and app designs and things like that. So there's a lot of different things that go into 4-H. Now 4-H has grown as technology and life has grown as well. So,
this morning we were talking about Amendment 1, which is basically to change the way money is distributed, so that 33% of the money from some source now will go, if it's voted on, will go to protect the rivers and all that.
Okay.
And it sounds like something you should be for, and many, many people are for it. But but a guy I respect greatly, Adam Putnam.
Okay.
From the what's his title?
He's the Department of Agriculture.
Right, he's the head
Agriculture
guy,
Commissioner. Right.
He's against it, and it's not because he doesn't want to protect the water, but he's got other concerns about it. So.
Of the way that the wording is done, possibly within the bill.
Or about.
I didn't read that. I didn't see his.
I'll have to. I have it right here.
Yeah.
I can give it to you, and you can take it.
Take a look and read it.
But I just usually when I don't really know how to feel about a certain issue, I look to the people I respect.
Who are authorities within the issue, and that's usually a good way to go with things, that people who truly know what's going on. And a lot of times with some of these issues, it's not necessarily that, like you say, that it's a bad way, looking to fund a specific conservation issue. It could be just more wording that's within the bill that is hiding something else that's not necessarily a benefit for the area.
Here's his quote. He says, "I have certainly demonstrated my support for buying easements and accomplishing water and wildlife benefits from the use of acquisition programs, but I'm troubled by writing it into the Constitution elements of the budget." Into the Constitution elements of the budget. Yeah, here, you can have all my notes here.
Oh, okay.
That's the big part, and here's where he's listed as those opposing it. And then the next page is his
statement.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
That was my show prep for what we did this morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that'll be interesting to read and see what we got going. Yeah, and I can kind of just hearing that. Yeah, I'm not offhand not for putting budgetary issues into the Constitution.
Yeah, but it's a well-crafted campaign because they tug at your heart.
Right, and because of the conservation, because it is water, fresh water, our lakes, our rivers, our streams, our springs, something that we do really hold dear. You know, fresh water is something that you don't want to run out of, and we want to all protect it. None of us, nobody wants to be the one to go, oh, no, I don't care about that. But,
right.
Yeah, we want to do it correctly.
Right.
We don't want, I don't want the long arm of the law, of state laws, of county laws, to tell me or tell anybody what you necessarily can and cannot, so long as it's within,
Well, and that brings us to something that comes up a lot this time of year. Although right now with all the rain, I guess we don't need to worry about it. But do we have the watering regulations that we've had in the past?
Watering regulations continue. It doesn't matter. This time of year,
but doesn't it change at a certain date?
It's usually when the clocks change, back in the springtime, when the clocks changed, your watering times went to twice a week.
Okay.
Which this time of year, your sprinkler system should be turned off, or turned into the manual setting, because we don't need to be running the sprinklers. Trying to teach people, that's another hard one to do too. Unless we are not getting water, any rain within a 2-week period, you don't need your sprinklers on. Even your vegetable gardens don't need it. Containerized plants, if they're set out in the landscape, they're not going to need it. Turn the system off. The times in the wintertime when it goes back down to one time a week, it's again, your grass is not actively growing, or it's growing much more slowly. It only needs to be watered once a week. So it's going through with those.
And we have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Good morning.
Morning.
Speaking of rain, I have an apple tree that I just bought from someone. He's also a master gardener, and the leaves all turn brown. I have 2 trees because he said they had to cross-pollinate.
Yeah, right.
Well, the one tree looks fine. It's just a few feet away from the other one, but the one, just the leaves all turn brown. So I told him, and he said, send him pictures ASAP. I did. He suspected something called fire blight brought on by the rain.
Mm-hmm.
But when he saw the photos, he said, no, that doesn't, the buds are still green. He says, doesn't look like fire blight.
Right, fire blight will kill the whole branch or the whole stem.
But there was a green, but the buds are still green.
Yeah.
That's what he could see from the photo.
Right.
So then he said, I don't know. He says, it kind of stumped him. He says, because it looked as if the whole thing just got sprayed with Roundup. And I mean, if you look at these trees, I've got several fruit trees all a few feet from each other, and they're all, the other ones are fine, and there's this one that it looks like somebody just came and just sprayed it.
Okay.
It really does, and we don't use Roundup here.
Right.
So I guess my question is, should I just wait and see it and let it go, or should I just? He said he would give me another one, or is this just a matter of just waiting and see it? Just the leaves will all drop off, and then.
How long's it been in the ground?
I guess about a month.
Transplant shock.
Pardon me?
Transplant shock.
But the other tree, I bought
some of them.
Trees,
some trees will do.
Okay, the other fruit trees, I mean.
Yeah, and sometimes you'll just have one that goes through a shock. I would give it time. I'd give it a couple months.
So keep it in the same spot?
Leave it in if it's got good sunlight, if it's draining properly. If it hasn't, you say it's been in the ground a month, you're not giving it any more extra water.
Oh, no.
Okay, yeah. And that may be it, is that it's getting so much water right now, and there's nothing you can do about that. You can't stop nature. It hasn't sunk down in the ground any further than it was planted, correct?
I don't think so. It's the same height as the other one. That's still okay.
Okay. Yeah. I would just give it time. So long as if the leaves are dropping off, Are they turning brown and dropping off?
No, they haven't dropped. They're still on the tree.
Okay. I would still give it time. If the buds still look like they're green, if it's still pliable, I would give it time. This time of year, it's a little tough to try to give it any fertilizer. You might just put a little, a little top dress of some manure or something like that right now, just because the amount of rain we're getting. I wouldn't try to put any other kind of fertilizer to it, but something like that, just a little bit enough to maybe offer a little bit of nutrition, and just watch it. If it's still green, still pliable, I'd give it some time. It sounds like that one in particular just went through some shock. Each and every plant is unique. And you can get one that will transplant shock, and you'll get other ones that'll be fine. Just like taking your kids, somewhere. Some of them will have a blast from day one. Other ones take 2 days at the beach to finally decide they're going to have a good time.
Okay, and thank you. But here's one more, another question, if I can do.
Sure.
I've got these fruit trees, then I put them all in different spots. I got several just to get them all started, different kinds, persimmons, pomegranate.
Okay.
I've got the trees are on, some of them are on the west side of the house, but we have woods. They're also toward the woods.
Okay.
And I wonder if I've been kind of moving them around because I found that it doesn't seem like that's as good of a spot maybe. Do you think, is it better to put them in a sunny south location or a western location that doesn't get as much sun, but when it does, it's really hot? And
you're looking for 6 hours of sun a day, at least. So that would be my way of selecting it, the 6 hours of sun a day.
Okay.
So however your landscape will allow that, you don't want too much of a breakup, but if it were the kind of thing that, say, it got about 3 hours in the morning and then starting about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe it started to get the sun from the rest of the day, that would be okay. But usually you're looking for that, or if it starts getting sun at noontime and it gets it all the way through till 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the evening, that's fine as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
And you have another phone call, Carol Ann. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Hey, good morning, Carol Ann.
Morning.
Mike McCoy again.
Yeah.
Quick question for you. My wife loves her roses.
Okay.
And evidently so do the deer. They must be really fantastic tasting. I haven't grazed on them lately, but she'll have these beautiful, beautiful roses. Next thing you know, they're gone. Deer just eat them right to the ground.
To the ground,
I mean, they'll eat the recommendation short of,
On how to keep the deer out of the roses?
Yeah, she planted hot peppers in there. They ate the hot peppers.
Yeah. There are some repellents. That's the hard part, is that it's not just seasonal where you can kind of deter them for a little while and they'll go away.
Yeah.
The other thing, you cage them.
We thought about that too, and that's gonna take away from their
the beauty of the roses.
That is an option, I guess.
Of some type of way of that, or like I said, some of the repellents. I don't know whether or not deer can be trained away with, say, using the repellents, or there's some nifty little sprinkler systems that work that you can find through some of the garden catalogs or online, where it's operated with a garden hose and it's solar powered or with a motion sensor, and when something comes through and it'll come on and go and spray.
I thought about that too. I was thinking about putting some kind of a motion sensor and one of these. You can get just a regular light motion sensor,
right?
And hook it up somehow. But then you've got, and we do have power at that point,
right? But during the day, that doesn't do a whole lot of good. The light's not going to, at 7 a.m. It's bright enough that light's not going to make an effect.
Oh no, I'm talking about a motion sensor.
Oh, okay, yeah. With the motion sensor with the moisture, with water, I'm not sure if they'll train out. It might be worth trying, especially if it's like, I love my roses, but I can't grow them because of the deer, and, partially covering them or covering them temporarily, fencing them.
Yeah. I'm starting to feel like Marlon Perkins out here where I live. There's so many animals. We went out the other day and found hundreds of turtle eggs eaten by
coyotes and dogs, wild dogs or cats.
Unless the coyotes are the water, it's definitely a gator.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Okay, well, guys, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good luck with that. Yeah, that's a tough one, having to deal with deer, because the deer were there first, and they do have an affinity. And there's all kinds of videos that you'll see online where people are sitting in their yard and just filming the deer families that are coming through, grazing the lawn and things like that, which that's fine. It's just they'll graze your flowers, they'll eat the fruit out of your trees, they do like roses. I know with squirrels, a friend was having such a problem with squirrels. Her husband took care of a couple of them with a high-powered pellet gun, and she wasn't real fond of doing that. She didn't want to know he did it. She just wanted the squirrels to go away. Trapping squirrels is ineffectual, because if you take them far enough away that they won't come back, you're putting them within a territory that's probably already has a population that it's supporting. So that's not good. And then they get run over trying to find a location they can make of their own. But I suggested she try the society garlic. I said, I've heard of people who take and plant it around their mailboxes and things to keep the neighbors' cats and dogs from using the mailbox as a water post. And it seemed to work for them. And she started, because somebody gave her a few. And I said, well, divide them up and put a few here and there and around, and it has worked. So her flowers are not being devoured by the squirrels now. And they're actually not even coming up, or they come within a certain distance and they back away from it. So society garlic may help. I don't know if it'll work with the deer, but it does seem to, it may work with bunnies and squirrels a little bit that are a lot closer to the ground. But, you figure deer bend over to eat, munch, munch, munch. And I don't know how they deal with the thorns. Within it, but they'll eat them. I mean, my dog used to eat blackberries off of the wild blackberry vines, and they're very thorny too. They just get in there and just pull a blackberry and eat them.
By the way, at Jerry's Pun and Gun, one of our sponsors, they have coyote traps.
Right.
And when I found that out, two thoughts came to mind. What do you put in it as bait? I mean, do you put a live chicken or something? And then part two is, what do you do when you catch one? That animal's going to be angry when you go out there.
Yeah, and you're not going to let him go. You will dispatch him.
Oh, kill him? Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Have you done that?
That's the only thing you can do. It's the only legal thing.
Are you allowed to say?
I don't believe. No, I haven't done it, but you are legally allowed to shoot them.
Oh, really?
You're not allowed to legally sit out at night with lights unless you are licensed to hunt them. They're not native. They're not native to Florida. They are destructive to livestock and things like that. No, they're not native to Florida.
Where Robin lives, near Top of the World. She doesn't live in Top of the World, but
in that area.
It was a news item. She doesn't know the guy.
A man, his dog was grabbed
right
while
he was walking him. Yeah.
There are no more feral cats in the neighborhoods where we're at because of the coyotes.
Really?
There are none. They will consume the feral cat population.
Oh.
And and they will.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not getting a cat then.
Yeah. If there's any cats that are outside,
but a feral cat and a pet that happens to be walking around outside is not much difference.
No, there's not.
To a coyote.
No, there's not, because my daughter lost one of her cats too.
Really?
Yeah.
Did she find any evidence?
No, the cat was a
Just
fixed
gone.
female, and she was outside, and you heard the coyote, and the cat wasn't there the next day.
Oh, that's too sad.
Yeah. So that was, So it's another good reason to, not only are our domestic cats dangerous to the songbird populations outside, if you leave your cats out running about unattended, they then also become bait to the coyotes or other creatures.
Get a coyote trap. Jerry has them. Well, don't they say? I have no idea what you would do about deer eating your roses, but don't they sell coyote urine?
They do. You can buy, different.
But would that attract coyotes?
I don't know if it would actually. It might actually attract it because of the whole thing of going, who's this intruder in a territory? So, hard to say.
Well, we are out of time, so
out of time again.
The gift certificate.
I forgot about it again.
Bob, I didn't forget. Do I have time?
Okay, do it really quick.
I have a $20 gift certificate to Bob Wine's Community Gardens and Nursery. The question I was going to ask was, what is the food item called that is made from the banana flour? So if you know the answer.
If you remember what we were talking about earlier.
I will walk you through it. Let's see if we have somebody who wants to take a shot at this. It's $20 for Bob Wine's Community Gardens and Nursery. Good morning. You want to try this?
I don't know what you were talking about, but I guess I could try.
Well, you get $20 to Bob Wine's if you can tell me what the food item is called that's made from the banana flour.
Banana flour.
That's good. That's good enough for me. You got it. It's called the Vajai Poo, but banana flour sounds good to me. Who is this?
Hi, Craig.
All right. It'll be waiting for you, Craig. We've got to run. Thank you, Caroline.
Thanks, Larry.
IRS emails the focus again at another House hearing with a former White House attorney testifying.
Jennifer O'Connor was subpoenaed last night. Committee Republicans demanding to know what she knows about those emails that went missing from IRS hard drives.
I have seen no evidence of wrongdoing.
IRS Commissioner John Koskinen telling the same committee last night he does not believe any crimes were committed. The head of the National Archives also testifies today that agency has asked the IRS to investigate the loss of records.
Fox Radio's Jared Halpern. In Iraq, Secretary of State John Kerry telling Fox News there was no way of knowing that some Iraqi forces would desert when militants began their recent offensive.
We don't have people embedded in those units, and so obviously nobody knew that.
Kerry in Iraq meeting with government leaders. Home prices rose in April from a year ago at the slowest pace in 13 months, reflecting a recent drop-off in sales. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
On March 3rd last year, Henry W. faced his own death with incredible courage. He wasn't in an accident. He wasn't ill. He wasn't in any danger. But he faced this reality head on. If he died, his wife and children wouldn't be able to pay the mortgage, make the car payments, or keep up the life they'd had. His family would lose everything. So he picked up the phone and called AIG Direct. He found out that through AIG Direct, he could get a $250,000 life insurance policy for less than $14 a month. Now, he knows that he's helped make his family's future secure, no matter what happens to him.
Protecting your family with coverage through AIG Direct is fast, easy, and incredibly affordable. Call AIG Direct right now for a free no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you can save up to 70%. Call now.
1-800-322-9891. That's 1-800-322-9891. 1-800-322-9891.
Today in Florida Ag News, I'm a Southeast AgNet. Texas Congressman Kevin Brady's Death Tax Repeal Act has 218 co-sponsors, as the proposed legislation would repeal estate taxes. American Farm Bureau President Bob Stallman said while permanent law enacted as a part of the American Taxpayer Relief Act of 2012 provided significant estate tax relief, repeal is the best solution to protect all farms and ranchers. If Congress fails to permanently repeal the estate tax, AFBF says surviving family members may be forced to sell off parts of their farms, which would jeopardize their livelihoods. American Farm Bureau's Dale Moore says having a majority of the U.S. House members on board as co-sponsors is a key goal of farm interest.
One of the things that is a key point in this is that there are 218 co-sponsors. That's over half of the House of Representatives. If this bill were on the floor and one presumes that just the co-sponsors of the bill vote for it, would presume that it would pass the House.
But even while a majority of the U.S. House members are on board, there are still challenges.
The only thing I can point to is that there have certainly over the past decade times when the Senate has been in a Republican majority, and while we have made progress, it has still been a challenge rounding up the necessary votes to support an outright repeal of estate taxes.
Now, the current estate tax exclusion is $5 million per individual and 40% above that, part of the 2012 tax relief. But Moore said AFBF feels permanent repeal is the best solution.
As land prices increase, the taxable value of that estate increases. And then you've also got to add to it, what is the value of the machinery, the implements that I've got on that operation? In an era where a combine can cost $250,000 on up, a cotton harvester, a cotton picker can cost $750,000. You're looking at machinery that will add up value rather quickly, even if it's been depreciated some.
Then add in the cost of livestock, and you've got a steep tax bill even for the most efficient farms and ranches. Randall Wiseman, Southeast AgNet.
Yeehaw! Howdy, folks. RL here to invite you to DQ. Dairy Queen is serving the crispiest, juiciest, most tasty chicken tenders, all beef chili dogs, and quarter-pound cheeseburgers on earth. And you get crispy fries, a drink, and an ice cream sundae of your choice for only $5. Remember, at DQ, you can lick their cones, but you can't beat their shakes. Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Ocala Comic Con, June 28th and 29th. Ocala Comic Con, the place to Hilton in Ocala. Ocala Comic Con, over 100 vendors and artists. Ocala Comic Con, costume contest. Ocala Comic Con, daily raffle. Ocala Comic Con, Pokemon XY tournament. Ocala Comic Con, June 28th and 29th. Ocala Comic Con, www.ocalacomiccon.com. Ocala Comic Con, special guest. Ocala Comic Con.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.